about
the posting, you're saying that about the standards.
The standards and trying to get kids to. Well, first let's take a step back, because it takes a long time. Just because you and I talked and had a conversation, we agreed that was an area of focus, doesn't mean you're going to be great at it. Especially if we didn't really dive deeper and have a discussion about, is it even important? Because if you're just doing it because I'm asking you to do it, and you're like, hey, this guy's doing this for his class, and you're going to give me you're going to give me sometimes we give people the answer that we think they want, and you don't really believe that that's important. Like Nisha was really honest a second ago. She's like, you know what, I'm not even sure that kids knowing the difference between synthesize and, we're talking about Bloom's taxonomy, and she said, I don't know that kids knowing the difference between analyzing and synthesizing or application is that important. And then I asked her, well, that's really a good question, because a lot of times we wonder why these smart kids, they're smart, but their intelligence doesn't transfer on tests, right? So what is it? And a lot of times it's because they don't understand that synthesizes this, bring it together, and analyzes, take it apart, and compare two things. And they don't understand that they have critical thinking.
Yeah.
So she said to me, at first she said, I don't even think it's important. And then in the course of her own conversation, she kind of realized it was kind of important. So you and I really didn't talk about, is it important truly for them to know what standard and where that's going to show up and how that transfers, how is it relevant in their life? Because that's the other piece. That's the other piece. It's a standard, okay. And no, it's going to be on the test. I get it. It's important. I want to do good on my test. Teacher, I want to do it for you. I don't care my test grade, but I'll do it for you, teacher. So I understand. But does that even show up, and how do you even connect that to the relevance, how is it relevant?
I'm honest with the kids. Yes, it's incredibly important, and I do connect it. It's not just because of you, because I do it. I've gotten lazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is May 27th? Like, get here.
Yeah.
But as far as the relevance to their life, like it depends, like simple interest. Financial literacy, that is going to relate to your life, and I can explain that to them.
Yeah. I
can make that connection. But as far as, like, let me think of something that has nothing to do. Maybe.
There's a lot of math.
There's a lot of math that doesn't. And they ask me, and I'm like, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not going to. It's not important. You need it for this test, and I'm just honest with the kids.
Yeah.
And so
I struggled when I first became a teacher. I struggled answering those questions. When I knew for a fact, you can give them the parent answer. It's important because you need to go to college and you need to pass these classes. But is it really relevant to your life? Until I heard one answer, and one answer was it forces you to use your brain in a certain way that's going to be really important, and you don't know how the connection right now. And when I heard that teacher, it was the way the teacher was explaining it to kids that I learned, you know what, there is a case. We can make the case that, you may not like algebra, you may not like math, but it's going to show up, and even two-step equations are going to show up because you're using a certain part of your brain that then later on you'll be able to analyze situations or make, or think at a more critical level. It was the way this teacher said it. Point is that I learned that there's a case to be made. And I know that with your kids, they're poor, if you don't make them believe that it's real, if you don't get them connected that way, they're just going to blow it out.
Yeah.
And many blow off the test, as you know, which is partly why it's not, their intelligence isn't showing up. So back to the standard. So you do realize that it is important, and it's important for them to know. And so you forgot to put it up, which is cool. We talked about it once, and that stuff happens.
It's there today.
It's there today.
It's there today.
Okay, cool. So it is something that you think you're going to try to get better at? With your standard?
Towards the end, yes.
Yeah. Cool.
I'll be better.
Good.
Get out of vacation mode.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this pretty much concludes our Cycle 2 session. I know you're happy about that. Any takeaways? Was it as painful? I imposed on you guys, and I really appreciated your time, and I hate taking people's time. I struggled initially because I didn't have a relationship with you guys, so it's like, who am I coming off the streets and start giving people even constructive criticism? It's hard. It's hard for me to do that because I know your job. I know how hard your job is. Who's someone that comes in and looks for 30 minutes and says, hey, can you get better in this area? But any takeaways for you about this process? Do you think this process, if it was done right, with good rapport, would be good for teachers?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, like I said, we used to use it in the past, and I don't know if you remember Miss Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, so this lady, she drove me crazy, but you know what? I absolutely love her. She's the one that I owe everything to. She's the one who's grown me to where I
Wow.
am now, and we use this. And so it was. She was constantly telling me about my tone and my wait time and all these different things, and I'm like, this lady, she's so freaking picky. Well, when I got to watch myself, I was like,
You guys were actually
I saw it.
videotaping.
Yeah, we
each
actually
other?
had to record ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we did the pre-conference, the actual, we would record an entire 45 minutes of the lesson, and then the post-conference and what we're going to work on. It all this paperwork crap.
Yeah.
I hated that part, but I really liked being able to see everything that, pointed out. And so, yeah, I think it'll definitely.
So when you become a principal, and the superintendent says to you, you need to turn the school around, do you think honestly that this is something you may incorporate to help teachers get better?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good to know.
So, yeah. Takeaway, I mean, I liked your idea as far as like the AV, the true think, pair, share. Because I say that I'm doing that, I write it down, but it's not like that, like as effective as yours.
Yeah.
Your idea was. So.
Well, thank you. Thanks for your time. Okay.